Hi friends, Susan Campfield here with SueStampfield.com. Welcome to my stamp room. I'm so glad you're here with me. My microphone's far away. I'm going to pull it closer. How are you doing? Happy, what day is it? Happy Saturday. Thank you for making and sending handmade cards. You are absolutely making the world a kinder place with every card that you send. So thank you for all that you do. I hope in these videos that you get a little inspiration to make and send even more cards. Tonight we're going to make a fun fold card. I recently got back from the Stampin' Up! Incentive trip in Disney World in Orlando, Florida. And I participated in the Stampin' Up! Swap, and I got some cards back, and one of them has a fun fold. We've done this fold, I think, before, but it's been a while, and I thought it would be a really fun one for us to do together tonight. I'm hoping you'll vote on a couple of things on the card that I wasn't sure which direction to go, and so hoping you'll help me out there and we can design this card together. So let's hang out. Want to remind you a couple things. So Crafternoon is my monthly class. That's my big class that I do. It's a virtual class, and if you place an order in May, you'll get a packet in June. My voice is froggy, you guys, to make a card with me. So we just had the May Crafternoon. It was kind of an odd day. We had it on Thursday this week because of my travel schedule this month. I am actually leaving again tomorrow, going back to Orlando, this time with my whole family, my son and husband. My son had finals, so he couldn't come with us to the Stampin' Up! Trip. So we're all three going again, and this time we're doing the Universal Studios Park. So that should be an adventure. And tonight we're going to make this card together, and Crafternoon just happened on Thursday, and the blog post is up, the tutorial's out there. We'll do a quick look at those cards. I have a free project sheet that's going to be coming out soon. The plan is next week at some point. I'm going to work on it on the plane, believe it or not. So if you want to get those free project sheets to print out, those match up with some of my videos. So you can go to SueStampfield.com and subscribe to that. So let's go ahead and dive right in here. I'm going to go to the desktop. Oh, see, I moved the microphone, so now we can see it. That's okay. As long as you can hear me, that's the whole point, right? So we are going to make a fun fold card tonight. So this is the card I got, and I think it's from. So there was this loose envelope floating around in my packet. So I think it's from Shelley Harwood. I hope that's correct. I just had them all in a bin, and that one was loose and didn't have a home. So I'm guessing this is Shelley's card. Super cute card, but you can see how it opens like that on the front. So it's just a super fun little accordion type fold, and with this panel on the front. So we're going to go ahead and make this, but we're going to use some different products. Now, she used, I want to say, she used the same one. She used this one. So this was last month's Crafternoon. We made this this card, which was the pop-up parade. So it's a vertical card with the 1, 2, 3 pop-ups there, which gives it a real 3D look. And so you can see that Shelley used those same patterns of paper. Now that's the Floral Impressions Designer Series paper, which is an online exclusive. This Crafternoon, we did a twist on this. So instead of a vertical, we did the panorama pop-up. So that is a horizontal card. Again, we have 3 pop-ups here. I made them different dimensions than last month, and it gives me more room to add more decoration. So this one is one of them. This is the Cone Flower Celebrations, and I paired it with the Country Wood Designer Series paper. The one that I made in the video on Thursday was this one, which is the uh-oh, that's not my one with the sticky on the back. Hang on. I've got like 3 different versions of this card. Oh, here it is. This is the Florals in Bloom Designer Series paper, which is from the annual catalog. And all of these fold completely flat to go in the envelope. They just squish right down, and then they can pop up for display. And it's just a really nice 3D look. So when I do Crafternoon, again, people that placed in a qualifying order last month got a packet in the mail to make this one with me on the video. And then I create a bunch of different versions of the same fold using different products, like the Extraordinary Flora washi tape there and dies. And then there is a detailed tutorial that goes out to the people that qualified, and all my team members get that as well. And then that is available for anyone to purchase. This is the porthole card. This was inspired by another swap that I got during the incentive trip, because all these cards were, other than this one, were designed this week after I got back. And that porthole is Chrissy Graham from Australia had done a porthole card for the swap, and I thought, oh, how fun is that? So I wanted to try that out. I matched it up with the Thoughtful Journey paper. And then this one is with the Notes and Totes dies bundle, which we also did in a previous video where we made this little treat holder. So anyway, these are all on my blog. So go to SueStampfield.com and you will find all the pictures of these cards, the insides and everything else, plus details about the tutorial if you're interested in that. All right, I'll set that aside. And we're going to make this card, but we're going to use some different products to make this one. So we are going to use the Kintsugi suite of products. Where is it? It's on the floor. Hang on. So this is a suite from the annual catalog. The bundle is called Inspiring Imperfections. The designer paper is called Kintsugi. Kintsugi. I had to look up how to pronounce that. And I wasn't familiar with Kintsugi, but I am now, and I really love the theory behind it. So I'm going to explain that in just a second here. There's an embossing folder called Joined Together. It's a 3D embossing folder. This is what it looks like when it's embossed. Very elegant, different pieces almost puzzled together there. And then it also has some embellishments that are called flower accents. And they do kind of look like daisy flowers, and they're a bright gold. So, and then we can look at the designer paper here too. Now, Kintsugi, it's a traditional Japanese art that involves repairing pottery, broken pottery, and repairing it with, they called it golden, it means golden joinery. That's what Kintsugi means. And so you're basically, they mix a lacquer with powdered gold or silver or copper, and they repair the broken item, but they allow those cracks to show, and they make the cracks beautiful. And the feeling about it is that it's celebrating our imperfections and our authenticity, and knowing that the times that we're broken and repair ourselves make us stronger and make us who we are. Like all of you are so amazingly kind with how you send cards to people, and that kindness probably comes from times in your life where someone treated you unkindly, and so you value kindness, right? So it's a beautiful story behind the Kintsugi, and there are a lot of Christianity have themes that run along with this. One of my team members, after I showed it previously, she said, we talked about it, she said her pastor always talks about it when he does baptisms, actually, and how being broken is part of humanity, and it can be beautiful. And anyway, it's just very, very cool. So let's take a quick look at the designer series paper here. Now, this particular sheet, everything can be die cut. I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I love a designer paper that can be die cut. It just makes me happy. So you can see here that we have the vase. I'm going to call it a vase. It could also be a pitcher. And then the cup. These match up with these dies right here. And then this flower. Can you see this flower? And I don't know what kind of flower that is, but that can be die cut out as well. In fact, I think I have one here on my desk to show you. That's what the flower, it's petal pink on top. Camera's not picking it up super great, and Lost Lagoon on the bottom. And then we have the cracks that we talked about, so that you can add cracks and imperfections to some of the pots. Some of them already have them on it, but you can add those. And then there's some standalone dies, and then this one matches up. Now, of course, these all also match up with the stamp set. So you have the beautiful vase in here. Now I could just see this in blue and white, like navy and white would just be gorgeous, wouldn't it, you guys? And then you can add the cracks. So we also have the flower there, and then the other flower, which matches this die cut. And then we have some different greetings. Thanks for helping me through this difficult time. You inspire me. There's beauty in your history. I know you'll get through this and be stronger for it, and I'm here for you. So that's the stamp set. Let's take a quick look at the paper here. Obviously, it has gold elements in it. It is a specialty paper. We already looked at the embossing folder. We're actually not using the embossing folder tonight, so I'm going to tuck it over here before I lose it. Because that's what I do. We play a little game here because I'm a messy stamper, a messy crafter. And when I lose something and find it again, we all say found it, and we take a sip of our beverage. So let me know what's in your glass tonight. I have ice water in my cup. So on the back of this designer paper, we have a beautiful cloud cover design. Almost looks like fish scales. It's very delicate. And then we have, oops, I have my sample here of the embossing. Let's pop that over there too. We have this one, which is white with the gold crackling on it. And then on the back, it's kind of almost an ocean design. Like that would be really pretty actually with the sunrise sailing bundle. It kind of looks like waves in the ocean. And then this gorgeous one, which is a beautiful blue floral with gold accents printed on top. And then back here we have a very pretty in pink. No, it's not pretty in pink. A very pretty petal pink pattern. Petal pink pattern. That was a mouthful. And then this one kind of is similar to the embossing folder a little bit, where it's different patterns joined together there. And on the back we have this gorgeous cloud cover. Just so soft and pretty. It reminds me of wallpaper almost. It's just beautiful. And then we have this one, which is basic beige with gold on top, which is also beautiful. And then on the back we have a Misty Moonlight pattern here. And then here's another Misty Moonlight sheet that has the gold crackling on it. And on the back of that, we have another petal pink design with just a light floral on it. Just beautiful paper. Oh my gosh, so pretty. Wendy is having her morning coffee, so I'm going to take a wild stab and guess that you're maybe in the South Pacific, Wendy, because it is evening here in Minnesota. All right, so we're going to die cut some of these vases. Now, we absolutely could stamp our own, but I want to show you how you can use the ones on the paper. So let's do that. I'm just going to grab a pair of paper snips here, and I'm going to just rough cut out one of these. So I want them to be matching because I'm weird that way. So I'm going to do both the cup and the vase or pitcher. Which pattern would you guys like to vote for? Which one should I cut out? Option 1 is this floral. So that's number 1. Or number 2 is the leaves. So vote whether you want number 1 or number 2. I definitely want the blue because I already know I'm going that route. So 1 is the floral, 2 is the leaves. I did that backwards. Okay, Mary, help me remember 1, 2. Mary is our fantastic moderator. She's helping out here tonight on YouTube with the measurements and so forth. All right, so let's, I'm going to let you guys vote 1 or 2. While you're voting, I'm going to just grab my paper trimmer here. All right, how we doing? How we doing on our votes here? Oh gosh, it's pretty tight, you guys. Let me just see. Oh, here they come. Here they all come. I have to scroll back up because they all come in at the same time. Okay, tied. I'm seeing a few. I'm surprised. You guys are surprising me. I'm seeing a few more of the leaves. It's pretty close. but we're going to go with the leaves here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. Now I don't want to cut into the other cups of the flower because all of them can be die cut. So I'm actually going to go down from the top here. I don't have to cut it exactly because there's a die for that, right? I don't need to bother, but I'm going to scoop this out and we're going to just trim this out of the piece. All right, so there we've got our pot with the or our vase, pitcher, whatever you want to call it. And then there's a cup that matches it down here in the blue. So I'm just going to chop that out. You can see we also have a basic beige option. We've got petal pink. We've got Lost Lagoon. And then I believe that's Old Olive there. So lots of color choices. I'm in a blue mood tonight, I guess. So we're just going to give this a chop out. There we go. All right, I've got that cut. And then we can set this aside over here. Excellent. All right, so I am going to score some paper. Let's do it. All right, so I'm going to grab my measurements here. And somewhere I have paper mostly cut. All right, so we have our card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Nancy didn't think I was going to be live tonight. Well, here I am, Nancy. Usually always live on Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. So I was normally would have done Crafternoon today, but we did it on Thursday. So maybe that's what you're thinking of. So 4 1/4 by oh, I have a typo in there, Mary. I'm so sorry. Mary, it's actually 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. My mistake. I have a typo on my paper. I got to write that in because we always show the dimensions at the end so that you can take a screenshot. And there's no sense in showing dimensions that are incorrect. So it should be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. There we go. Fixed it. All right, now I will tell you on Shelly's card, and I have a feeling she's in one of our other markets that has a different size paper because her card is actually 4. Her finished size of her card is 4 by 5 1/4. And I decided to adapt it to standard size. Nothing wrong with 4 by 5 1/4. That totally fits an envelope. It's just a tiny bit smaller than the normal of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I went with that. So 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 for the Misty Moonlight. Thank you, Mary. Shout out to Mary, our wonderful moderator, dropping the correct measurements in the comments for us here, especially when I make a boo-boo. Thank you, Mary. She's always quick off the mark. This is the accordion insert. So that's this piece here. We're going to put another piece on top of it. So this accordion insert, does the floral die cut out the flower that's above the vase on the DSP? Yes, it does. This is the die cut flower right out of the paper. There's also a stamp for this flower. So we're gonna score this piece. This is the accordion insert, and it's 4 inches by 6 1/4. And I'm gonna score it at 1 1/2 and then 3 inches. So 1 1/2. Let's just get this straightened up here. Let's do it straight. What do you think? All right, 1 1/2, and then I'm going to slide it over to the 3-inch mark and score it at 3 inches. There we go. All right, there we go. And now we've got that scored. I think I'm done with this because I've got everything else. Well, let's not get I think I have everything else cut, but we never know. So this is going to be on this side, and then we're going to accordion fold it. So the score that's close to the middle, I'm going to fold that valley, and then the other score over to the left here, I'm going to fold as a mountain. Okay, so it should look like that. Let's grab our bone folder here and give that a crease. There we go. All right, so we've got that scored. And we'll be mounting that on here, and we have another piece that's going to go on top. But on our card base, so I'm going to just kind of show you what I'm planning, and then I want your input, okay? So we're going to be putting this on, you know what, I'm gonna die cut our vase and cup, because I think that will give you a better picture so that you can do the next voting bit with having all the information. We like to have all the information, right? I'm gonna grab some sticky notes, found them in a drawer, because I think I'm plumb out over here, or else I've just lost them, which is, you know, highly possible. All right, so take a sip, everyone. We have found some sticky notes that were in my drawer where they belong. Let's grab the vase / pitcher out and the cup / bowl out. And we're gonna go ahead and die cut these. So I'm gonna put this over the top of that. So you can see it fits perfectly. And same with the cup. And then we're just going to secure them with a sticky note. Now, you don't have to use a sticky note. Some people use paper tape for this. Some people use washi tape. I have a plethora of sticky notes, so that's what I've always used. But use what you have, right? Use what you have for that. And then let's take this one, and we're going to go ahead and let's pop that into place, and I think that looks right. Fingers crossed. Okay, let's send it through. Let's see how I did here. All right, crank that through. Inspiring Imperfections. That is the name of the die. Thank you, Mary. All right. We've got this. We're going to peel this off. All right, and we're going to pop it out. So there we have our vase. What I like about these is they've really planned this out. I'm going to just grab the paper really quick here again. So the die matches up with the gold outline of the vase. And you can see they made it, the color on the vase whiter than the gold. So instead of giving you a white rim around the item that you're die cutting, it actually does the full color, which is really nice. So we've got these guys, and we're going to pop them over here. And while I'm at it, I'm just going to throw some things on the floor. Whoops. Whoops. No, I'm not gonna. Okay, I was gonna say while I'm at it, you know what? Let's just do all our die cutting, shall we? All right, we're gonna die cut a crack, and we're gonna die cut a label. The crack is for our vase on the front. I could do one for the cup on the inside too, but I'm just gonna do, because a couple go on the inside of the card. I'm just gonna do one here, and I didn't clean that out last time I used it. All right, so for this one, it's pretty easy. I'm just gonna do a piece of white. For the crack, this is, when I die cut this, it's going to be super skinny. And while I could put some multi-purpose liquid glue on it, stick it on, you need to be precise about that. So I'm going to use adhesive sheets on the back of this. Now, we did this recently in this video. When we did the little tote, we used adhesive sheets on the back of the glasses, and also in the Crafternoon tutorial. Same story. I used adhesive sheets on the tote for the panorama pop-up card with the notes and totes on it. I used adhesive sheets for the glasses on that as well. So I have a piece of adhesive sheet here, and I have a piece of gold foil. And I'm just going to flip the gold foil over, and I've got my adhesive sheet. I pre-cut these kind of like 12 by 6, I think, and you just peel off the backing. I'll do this bigger side actually. It wants to stick on there. It is sticky, that is the idea. And then I'm going to put this on the back of the gold. And I've cut it just slightly smaller than my paper. I don't want any sticky hanging over. Now I'm going to bend it backwards and peel off the rest of the backing. Like so. Throw that away. and just press that in place. So now I have a piece of gold that is going to be sticky on the back so that I can kind of make my own sort of sticker, basically. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to put this there. That, to me, I cut this very minimally. This is a 1.5 by 3, which just barely fits. Because if you're, if you're familiar with 12 by 12 paper, or you're good at math, 1.5 by 3 is means no waste. So we like that, right? So this one, I'm not so worried it's going to shift on me. So I made that one plenty big. That one I made 1.25 by 3, which was plenty of room. All right, so let's go ahead and crank this through. Let's crank it through. We're cranking. Okay, there we go. I'm going to set this aside because we are done with that. So we've got our little greeting label. It kind of looks like it's been torn or joined together there to go with the whole Kintsugi idea. And then we're going to peel off our beautiful crack that we're going to add to our pot to show it's that there are perfections, or imperfections can be beautiful, right? All right, let's crack this, pull this outwards here, and I've got that with the adhesive sheet on the back. It's very fine and thin. All right, let's clear our mess off here, Susan. So good at my messes. Now I could save this because I could actually get a couple other die cuts out of here. It's got an adhesive sheet on the back, so I probably won't, but I could. All right, now I have questions for you guys on how we want to do our card design here. So this panel is going to be adhered on here, and we're going to stick this onto our card. And then we're going to have a layer of designer series paper right here from the Kintsugi. I'm using this one, which is the cloud cover, pretty almost wallpaperish design. It has the joined pattern on the back. So I would put that there, and then I'm going to be putting our pot and our greeting on this front here. My question for you guys is this: which pattern do we want to use for the sides? I've got two choices for you, unless I lost one of them. Okay, so one option is this with the Misty Moonlight pattern. I don't know what to call that. It's like a plus sign, I guess, kind of, sort of. Or the other option is this one, which is a floral that has gold in it. Okay, so let me know in the comments if you want one or two. One or two, okay? One or two. Let me know in the comments which way you want to go. And I'm just going to play around here while you're voting. I wanted to see what this would look like in the center. I guess my concern was that it might be kind of hard to see the vase if I did this. But that actually would kind of work as well. So maybe we need to vote on those two. I'm seeing a lot. Oh, here comes some twos. I was saying I'm seeing a lot of ones. Let's see here. Yeah, I think it's, I'm just sort of quickly tallying the votes. So I'm seeing a few more ones. So we're going to go with the ones. All right, so we'll put this aside. Now don't worry, because the sample I made earlier today actually had this one, number 2. So I have those of you who voted for that one, no worries. I'm going to be able to show you that. So this is going to go here. So with this card, I find it better to put the designer paper on first. So that would require some adhesive. Anyone see where I put the adhesive? Oh, found it. Oh gosh. Uh-oh, I can see it red inside. That's never a good thing. All right, fingers crossed we make it through. Otherwise, we'll have to stop and reload. But that's okay. We can do that. So I'm going to put adhesive on the back. These pieces are 1 inch by 4. And I'm going to put them on the card base here so that I have about the same amount of space at the top, the bottom, and the side. Let me hold it up so you can see. And it's just kind of blue flowers with some gold printed over it. Okay, so we've got that. And then we're going to take this one and stick this on. Okay. And we're going to put this right here. We're going to do the same thing. I want to leave the same amount of space at the top, the side, and the bottom. All right. Now that that's in place, I can add this in between the two. Okay. If you left a little extra space on the edge and you have to overlap a little bit, totally fine, doesn't matter. So I'm going to go ahead and put adhesive on this part of our accordion piece. So let's stick that on here. All right. And then I'm just going to slide this in here. Okay, just like so. All right. And then this panel is going to go right on top. And I'm just going to put some adhesive on this. I don't want to put adhesive on here because part of this I don't want to stick down. I only want half of it to stick, so it's easier to put it on the parts that I know I need sticky versus we're guessing where the edge is going to be. And I'm just going to literally pull this up and line it up corner to corner, edge to edge, and then squish that down. Okay, so that is that fun fold portion that opens. Now we have more questions. I didn't think we did, but we do. So we can see where our card is right now. So question for you is, for the front, do we want our card to look like this with the misty moonlight pattern here? We're going to have a sentiment and all the things, but you get the gist here. So do we want to do the darker one, or do we want to do the lighter blue, the cloud cover? And this one will give a different number too. Okay, so A, or those are numbers, Susan. A letter to this one. A or B? Which one do you want me to use? A or B? Let me know in the comments, please. What is the measurement for the white piece? Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you that. The piece that goes on top here is, hang on, I want to give you the right one. Topper for accordion insert is 3 1/4 by 4. Would I say that is this directional? I would say it's not, because this flower is going up and this flower is coming down. So I would say it doesn't really have a direction in my mind. They're kind of going every which way, which kind of makes it easier. So, okay, you guys are voting, which is awesome. Now I just have to remember which is A and which is B. Oh my gosh, Susan. I'm going to assume it was A and B. Am I right, you guys? Oh, Mary, help. Was the lighter one A and the darker one B? Somebody let me know in the comments. While you're letting me know, because Susan has a horrible memory, I'm going to go through and see if I can kind of just briefly eyeball your votes. Boy, it's really even. Wow. Someone voted for B twice. Someone voted for letter V. They don't like either option, maybe. I don't know. My gut says there's a few more. A was the darker one. Thank you, Marty. A was the darker one. Oh, well, and the lighter was B. I've totally messed it up. So I think more people voted for A. And now some say, wait, it's the other way around. So, we'll go with this. I'll tell you the other version I did with the lighter. So it's all good. We got everybody covered. We're going to go with this because Susan messed it up. I'm so sorry, you guys. Some of you think A was the lighter. Some of you think B was the lighter. So nobody knows. I'm not the only one. I've confused us all. I'm so sorry, friends. Now, this piece. Okay, so again, the topper for that accordion piece was, what was it, Susan? Oh, I don't know. It was 3 1/4 by 4. And then our DSP is 3 by 3 3/4. So that's going to go right on there. Now, what I like about that is, once again, with 12 by 12 paper, a 3 by 3 3/4 piece means you can get, you have a little bit of waste, but not much out of the piece. So we're going to go with the darker. So our pot will be right here, kind of a little bit darker. Darker was a, yeah, I don't know. We don't know. We're just going to wing it. We're just going to wing it. All right, so we're going to pop this up. And what else do I need? What else do I need? Oh, I need our little greeting here. So we're going to use the words from the stamp set. Misty Moonlight. Here, let me grab that. And let me show you again the words in the set. I'm going to use the words, you inspire me. We also have thanks for helping me through this difficult time. There is beauty in your history. I know you'll get through this and be stronger for it. And I'm here for you. I'm here for you would also be nice on the front, but let's go with you inspire me because you guys all inspire me so much. I would not be able to go live and come on here without knowing that you're going to be here hanging out with me and creating with me. I love our video time together. So, okay, it's almost straight. So I stamped that with the Misty Moonlight ink. Now you also could emboss it in gold. Absolutely, totally doable. All right, let's put this aside and I'm going to find dimensionals somewhere. Susan, where did you put the dimensional? Oh, found them. Take a sip, everyone. Take another sip. All right, so we're gonna poke some dimensionals on the back of this. It would make a wonderful sympathy card. That's a great thought, Nancy. With the sympathy greeting on the front would be very nice. Okay, I'm just making sure that I'm okay with that. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. All right, we're going to peel this off and stick it on here. Now, I could have actually put our crack bit on before I put on the dimensionals. That might have been wise, but no, I didn't do that. So we're going to put it on after the fact. So we have our beautiful crack here, and we're going to take our take your pick tool, and we're just going to pick at it until we can find the edge of that backing piece. It is very, very fine piece, so I'm trying to not wrinkle it. And also don't want to stab myself because that would be bad. So, okay, I've got it lifted up here. And if you can bear with me, I'm just going to, can you see? I don't know if you can even see that. See how it's peeling back there? So I just pulled it back enough that I could grab it, and I'm peeling that off. So this is the backing for the adhesive sheet. So we're just going to pull that off. Now, what I found is that this crack is slightly bigger than the pot. There's a couple different ways you can stick it on. I'm going to put it on this way. So I'm going to line up those top cracks with the top of the vase, the pitcher, or whatever we want to call it. And you can see this bit, oops, I want these guys over here. Where am I going here? There we go. And you can see this bit is a little longer than I need. So I'm just going to take my paper snips and just give that a little trim right there. And I didn't cut it a little too long. Okay, stick that down. All right, so now we have our beautiful gold crack. That's optional. You don't have to add that if you don't want to. This one I'm a little bit off the edge, so I'm just gonna get that lined up and smush it down. Smush it into place there. And then we have our You Inspire Me, and we're gonna stick that right in here. I'm going to add just one dimensional on the back over on the back of the left side here because I want it to hang over a little bit. I'm going to put it up right there. That looks good to me. Okay, I've got that. We're going to add some of these fun embellishments that come as the kit, come as part of the kit. So these are the flower accents. And we're going to take a big one and stick it over here. And then we'll take a small one and kind of add it right in there. And then I'm going to add another one over here, and I'm going to put it right on the sentiment. It could be big or small. I'm going to do it small. All right, so there's our card so far. I have other questions for you, but first let's put in our little cup. Yeah, so the crack can also be a branch. You can see the set has flowers, so you can make this be a branch, and you can add flowers like cherry blossoms. or some other kind of spring flowers, crabapple blossoms, to the branch, and you can actually stick it into the vase. You could actually cut this scoopy part out so that it makes more sense to have the flower in there. And I'm just going to add the cup right here. I'm going to leave the inside of my card blank, but you could certainly add a sentiment there. Now, one other question I have is whether we want to add a bow up in this corner. I've got two different options here. I have this one, which is the gold stripe with the white. It's just kind of an elegant little touch there that can go right, yeah, just adds pulls on the gold. Or this one, which is cloud cover, which doesn't really, doesn't match our Misty Moonlight, but it's kind of a lightened up version of that. We also could do white. So let me ask you first, ribbon or no ribbon? I already see my ribbon, my people that don't like ribbon voting for no ribbons. That's fine. No, no, no. Okay. You guys don't like the idea of the bow. That's okay. That's okay. Let's see who else. No bow. Okay, the majority say just go with it as it is. And this one is a little bit busier maybe with the floral pattern on the sides. So there we have our fun fold card. Let me show you the other one where I did those of you that voted for the other option for the background in this. Let me bring that in. Now this one was with, so this one we did the leaf pattern on the vase and the pot and the cup. And this one is the florals. That was the other one that could be voted for. This one has the cloud cover background, and this one has the Misty Moonlight. Now, I think this one, because it doesn't have as busy of paper on the sides, actually maybe could use a bow. Let me know if you want a bow on card number 2, because we could put the cloud cover right there on that one. Or we could put the gold on that one. So let me know if card number 2 is going to have a bold bow, or if we want to just leave them as is. So let me know if we're doing a bow on the second one. And then we'll bring in our measurements and take a screenshot here. Someone said, nope, still no bow. Jennifer says, yeah, a bow would be nice. So a bow would be optional. The majority of you are saying you're happier without the bow. So we're going to go with that. I'll put this aside and let me bring in the dimensions here for our fun fold card. First of all, I got a tidy because you're going to take a picture of my messy desk. Oh my goodness. I gotta tidy up. All right, fantastic. Let's bring in those dimensions here with my little boo-boo corrected. Again, this is the Kintsugi suite of products. And let's bring this in right here. Hopefully they'll sit flat enough for you guys to get your screenshots in. But I'm gonna also have both cards there for you to take. So it's so hard to see the gold on this camera sometimes, so I'm gonna do that. Okay, can you guys see that? I'm gonna make it. Let's zoom it. Let's zoom it up. I have terrible eyesight, so I want to make sure you guys can see it. So, and it's so much cuter if the lights pick up the gold, which you do see in person, but not so much on camera sometimes. So there we go. Move up. Is that good, Nancy? Move up a little bit more here. And I'll stand this one up so you can kind of see the action on the card. So there we go. Scoot up, Joe says. All right, I think I already did, but hopefully that is high enough for you to get the dimensions. All right, I am going to flip the camera here so that I can say farewell. Let's go with this button right here. That worked. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight and making this card. I appreciate your input, and it's so much more fun to create with friends, right? Which reminds me, I don't know where my piece of paper went here, but there is a great special going on right now. it's almost done. So the Join Special ends May 31st. So if you have a lot of things on your wish list, you can purchase the starter kit right now. You get $165 a product of your choice. You only pay $99 plus tax. Shipping is free. And then you can try out being a demonstrator, which means you'll get a discount on all of your purchases, and you'll get a lot of inspiration from fellow demonstrators. You get to join my Stampfield Stars family of demonstrators, and they're wonderful, wonderful people just like you guys. So don't forget that's going on. And then a quick reminder, I'm going to have a project sheet going out soon, so you can subscribe at SueStampfield.com. And if you haven't already, and take care, everyone. I'll be back Tuesday night at 7:30 Central Time for another video. It will be pre-recorded because, like I said, we're leaving tomorrow morning for our family vacation, but that's okay. It's still going to be good. So I hope you tune in, and take care. Have a great night. Again, Mary Nass, thank you for moderating for us tonight. We appreciate you. And spread kindness, my friends. Thank you for making and sending handmade cards. You're amazing. Bye-bye.